Dante's Paradise, Canto 30. Praise of Beatrice's beauty, the river of light, the mystic rose, the throne of Henry the Eighth, 7th, denunciation of evil popes. When, as may be, the sun's moon heat is shed, 6,000 miles away, while we were where we are, Earth's shadow makes an almost level bed. When at our zenith the sky begins to show such changes that a star or two begins to fade from the eyes of watchers here below, and as the sun's most radiant serving maid comes nearer yet, and heaven puts out its lamps one by one, till the loveliest too must fade, just so that triumph that forever races around the blinding ray of the fixed point that seems embraced by what itself embraces, faded from sight degree by slow degree, at which I turned my eyes from the lost vision of Beatrice, as love commanded me. If all that I have said of her below were gathered now into a single paean, that would be scant praise of her beauty now. The beauty I saw there transcends all measure of mortal minds. I think only her Maker can wholly comprehend so great a treasure. Here I concede defeat. No poet known, comic or tragic, challenged by his theme to show his power, has ever more outdone, as feeblest eyes struck by the sun go blind. So the remembrance of my lady's smile strikes every recognition from my mind. From the first day I looked upon her face, in this life, to this present sight of her, my song has followed her to sing her praise. But here I must no longer even try to walk behind her beauty. Every artist, his utmost done, must put his brushes by. So do I leave her into a clarion of greater note than mine, which starts to draw its long and arduous theme to a conclusion. She, like a guide who has goal in sight, began to speak again. We have ascended from the greatest sphere to the heaven of the pure light. Light of the intellect, which is love unending, love of the true good, which is the holy bliss, bliss beyond bliss, all other joy transcending. Here shall you see both hosts of paradise, one of them in the aspect you shall see when you return the day all bodies rise, as a flash of lightning striking on our sight destroys our visual spirits, so that the eye cannot make out even a brighter light. Just so, an aureola bursts all about me, swathing me so completely in its veil that I was clothed in light and could not see. The love that keeps his heaven ever the same greets all who enter with such salutation, and thus prepares the candle for his flame. No sooner had these few words penetrated my hearing than I felt my powers increase beyond themselves, transcendent and elated. My eyes were lit with such new given sight that they were fit to look without digress on any radiance, however bright. I saw a light that was a river glowing, light within light, between enameled banks, painted with blossoms of miraculous spring. And from the river, as it glowed and rolled, live sparks shoot forth to settle on the flowers. They seemed like rubies set in bands of gold. And then, as if the fragrance overthrew their senses, they dove back into the river. And as one dove in there, out another flew. The flame of high desire that makes you yearn for greater knowledge of these things you see pleases me more the more I see it burn. But only this same water satisfies. Such thirst as yours, you must bend down and drink. So spoke the sun, and pole star of my eyes, and added, "The river and the jewels you see dart in and out of it, and the smiling flowers are dim foretastes of their reality." Not that these fruits are in their natures tart and unformed, but that you still lack the vision of such things, such high things. The deficit is on your part. No babe in arms that ever wakened, hungry, from having slept too long, could turn its face to its dear mother's milk more eagerly. Then I bent down to drink in paradise, of the sweet stream that flows its grace to us, so to make better mirrors of her eyes. No sooner were my eyes, Eve, sweetly drowned in that bright stream to drink, than it appeared to wind and change form till it was round. I have seen masqueraders here below shed their disguises that had hidden them and show their true appearances just so. The sparks and spring flowers changed before my eyes into a greater festival, and I saw the vision of both courts of paradise. O splendor of God, eternal, through which I saw the supreme triumph of the one true kingdom, grant me the power to speak forth what I saw. There in heaven, lamp shines, in whose light the Creator has made visible to his creature, whose one piece lies in having him in sight. The lamp forms an enormous circle, such that its circumference, fitted to the sun, as a bright belt, would be too large by much. It is made up entirely of the reflection of the rays that strike the top of the first moved sphere, imparting to it all its power and motion. And as the slope shines in the looking glass of the lake below it, as if to see itself in the time of brightest flower of greenest grass, so, tier on tier, mounting within the light, there glowed, reflected in more than 1,000 circles, all those who had one returned to heaven's height. And if so vast a nimbus can be bound within its lowest tier, what then must the measure of this rose at its topmost round? Nor were my eyes confounded by that sea and altitude of space, but took in all most number and quality of that ecstasy. There, far and near, caused neither loss nor gain. For where God rules directly, without agents, the laws that govern nature do not pertain. Into the gold of the rose that blooms, eternal, rank on rank, in incense and of praise, it sends up the sun forever vernal. I, yearning to speak and silent, Beatrice drew me and said, "Now see how many are in the convent of the white robes. Behold our far-flung city, and see the benches, every one a throne, how every rank of them is filled so full that few are wanted before all is done. That great throne, with the crown already set above it, draws your eyes. To it shall come before your own call to this nuptial banquet the soul already anointed of Henry the Great, who will come to Italy to bring law and order before the time is ripe to set things straight. Trance, in blind greed, your ever-deepening curse, you have become as mindless as an infant who screams with hunger, yet pushes away his nurse. The prefect of the Holy Court will be a man who will profess his cause in public while working to defeat it secretly. But after that, God will not long permit his simony. He shall be stuffed away where Simon Magus, head first in a pit, pays for his guilt. Therefore, paying for his own, he shall force the guilt of Alagna further down.